Gonna be Speedful over on the team one. Gonna be first up. Looks like gonna go for a bit of a nice bow with Elfman on Team Elfman. We got ourselves G-Funk joining in. I wonder is which Covenant. Gaming Pancake over as Unholy. We got ourselves Quan as a Windwalker. We got Archie on that team as well. Elfman getting hit with the disarm immediately by the Rogue. As a Rogue, Speedful is playing that subtlety. Got himself full kidney shot onto Elfman. Going for the big Kyrian burst. Trying to see if he can make a big play. Cheap shot. Gonna be the big trick exploding next to Elfman as he goes in for a bubble stun into Speedful. Is gonna trick it out of it immediately. And it looks to sprint out. Elfman is kind of lower some health. Maybe Speedful could turn it around. Does Elfman have any DRs on him with the stuns? Most likely. Speedful just having to take it a little bit longer with the deal. He is trying to go for cheap shot, but it is going to be heavily DR'd, so he will not be able to lock down Elfman for a while. Shield of Vengeance on the Paladin. And Speedful is going to have to go for a reset, trying not to burn advantage if he can against Elfman. And looks like he's able to get himself almost a clean reset. The consecration is going to get him out in the open. Elfman backing up out of there for a second. Shield of Vengeance finally exploding. And Speedful should be able to get himself a full reset as long as Elfman doesn't get him out of stealth. And the Rogue does get himself a proper clean reset. So I think this man is playing the Kyrian Lego. By the looks of it, he's playing the Kyrian Covenant. But I wonder what is his side Lego. I wonder what else he's going to be running. Going to be a cheek kidney shot onto Elfman, trying to go for the most amount of damage. Big burst out of the Rogue Elfman with a blessing protection. And Speedful is looking to back up out of there. Just looking for a good old reset. It's going to be Elfman and Speedful going for a reset. I'm going to try to see if he might be able to get himself a big burst. That was Shadow Blaze that time, so that was a lot of damage altogether. Elfman turning around. Speedful. I wonder if he's playing Mark for Death or he's playing Deeper Daggers. Because Deeper Strat. Because Deeper Stratagem has been pretty good as of recent for Rogues. Like, really incredibly good. Speedful looking for the reset. Just trying to get away from Elfman. Looks like maybe a slow out of the Paladin. Looks like he's able to juke around him. It's over. Just utilizing that pillar to the best extent. Just hugging it as tightly as he can. And Elfman trying to see if he might be able to get himself the resources coming back little by little, especially the cooldown reduction, as he's playing the Night Fae Covenant. Blind onto Speedful, does have a trinket for it. Looks like someone broke that trinket dam. Going to be a stun by Elfman. Trying to see if he might be able to capitalize some damage to Speedful. Big Wake of Ashes, Tempest Verdict on top of it. Shield of Vengeance up for right now. Speedful is going to go for the blind reset. Elfman is playing Relentless rather than Adaptation. So he is going to sit CC a little bit less long. But right now he doesn't have any way of getting out of CC unless he goes for a Blessing of Protection or a Bubble. And both of them are down, actually. Could be really bad for him. Speedful down with that trinket. Getting a shot at Elfman. Maybe cheap shot to follow. That trinket explodes next to him. Speedful with a continuous back-to-back CC chain. Going to be a vanish into a Shadow Strike into an Eviscerate. Game Pack and grip in the Rogue. Back in, stunning down with the pet. That's going to be cheap shot reset onto Game Pack. I guess he goes for a full IBF. Disarm onto gaming. Doesn't really have a way to generate a lot of resources or a lot of runic power. Needs to spend it as fast as he can. He wants to make the big damage of the Venti happen, but the Cloak of Shadows out of the Rogue does cause him to go for a bit of a reset. Shadow step away from gaming. Does get a big old juke, but looks like the pets are going to be slowing down quite a bit. That Chain of Ice still does connect. Now it's going to be a kidney shot onto gaming. Has a full bar of runic power. Should be able to recover a lot of health if he goes for Death Strikes. Does get a Death Strike in between of those stuns. This one for Speedful, it's super important to be able to chain those stuns to make sure that they are not giving you a gap in between. Speedful though surrounded by the army of the dead. All those pets could do a lot of damage. Trying to go for a bit of Kyrian setup. Doesn't have a stun for Gaming Pancake for a while. No evasion for a bit either. Doesn't go for any kind of CC. I think he's just gonna have to go for most amount of damage. Might just be able to crack right through. Gaming does get the army of the dead joining in. Gonna be Dark Pack right now. Death Pack rather is gonna necrotic out some of his health. He has a bit of bar health to work with. Speedful just trying to nuke down that health. Gaming tries to go for pet sacrifice and Rogue with the Shadow Strikes. Does end up taking him out. Actually so clutch, but he just had to keep up and do the most damage possible. Gonna be a quick sap to Archie as Speedful is looking to get out of there. This Rogue is trying to make it work. Rogue is OP, changing my mind. Yo, Rogue might just be OP. When I was trying some of my subtlety Rogue bursts over on the Atha, I couldn't get the same damage this guy's doing. I kind of want to see what kind of ability he's going for. I also want to see what Lego he's playing. Also his conduit setup. Because for Kyrian, I tried, I think it was Pelagos? But maybe go for Mechanicals for the extra dot and cooldown reduction. Actually, no, I don't think you would. Braun probably is going to keep you in combat forever. Going to be Speedful trying to go for a bit of a reset. Ghostus are up, but looks like Ghostus kind of separated away from the Rogue. I'm not really sure why. Archie getting hit with a disarm, so he is Maelstrom Generation. While not completely hindered because of Ghost Rules, it is reduced. Getting a shot onto Archie. He's going to go for a Battle Master Trinket as Speedful again unable to really chain the stuns back to back from a kidney shot into a cheap shot, making sure it's all airtight. Big Fatress Fusion by Archie. Speedful sees his health dropping. Is going to Trinket and get an interrupt onto Archie. It looks like something... Actually, Archie, I was going to say something broke him out of blind, but actually trinketed for it just to keep the pressure on the Rogue. The Ghosts not letting Rogue reset. Going to be that full evasion. as Arky is gonna have himself early blast. Gonna need to cloak of shadows for that instantly. And Speedful try to get a couple of shadow strikes off of those pets, but that's about all he can do. Earth Elemental joining in, not gonna let the rogue reset, so rogue is not gonna have an easy time getting away from Arky. As long as he keep a flame shock or a frost shock on a rogue, any kind of slows, any kind of damage, the rogue eventually will whittle down. And Arky keeping him in place with that static totem, does not let him go anywhere. Speedful trying to go for a disarm. Arky still has plenty of mails to work with, whether for healing, whether for damage. Speedful does recover a little bit of health. Sippy Cup was used. Kidney shot onto Arky. Does he have enough damage here? Trying to see if he might be able to make that Kidney shot work with a cheap shot, but the CC is going to be less effective since he's attacking an orc. They're just gonna sit in CC for a little bit less long. Ghost was joining in. Sunder by Arky. Does he go maybe for a big old stun? He needs to find a way to just lock down Speedful for a second and maybe go for that another of those Night Finches fusions. Speedful's health is actually just plummeting. Just even though he can get away from Arky, the Ghostos, together with a tiny bit of damage that the Earth Elemental is doing, it is enough to keep the pressure on him. Kiddish onto Arky. I don't know if he has a trinket or not. But it's Speedful desperately trying to find himself a reset. Finally, Earth Elemental fading. Finally gets himself a reset. Finally can go maybe for a bit of an opener versus Arky. And we'll see what he can do with it. Now that he got himself a proper reset. What if our rogues going to play the crit Lego together with the Kyrian Lego? Maybe. Because the Vanish Burst could be pretty good. But that seems like kind of like such an all-in play though. And I wonder if they'll maybe go for like a defensive, maybe like a Vanish Lego so you can get cooldown reduction on your CDs when you vanish. That could be huge for CC. Shadow Strike by the Rogue. It looks like he's just going to back up behind the pillar. Arky, I think it was maybe seeing if one of the eyes is up. One of the eyes is up by the Jaguar cage. I guess both of them have Jaguar cages. Like a spectral Jaguar. Disarm, but that's going to be Ghost. So Arky is going to have an easy time generating Master, letting the Rogue just sit and stun there while he got him in the same chain. Going to be a full early totem or early blast. Get a shot onto Arky. Does the Rogue have enough damage? Trying to go for the trinket over burst onto Arky. That trinket actually does split the damage between the Ghostos and Arky. Unless they fix it so he doesn't ignore the pets. Blind into Arky as he's tricking it out. Wait, it's beautiful. Does he have a proper reset here? That Shadow Blades very, very soon. So maybe with the Shadow Blades you can make something happen. Stab it Arky before you can get your heal. Maybe he could make something happen here. Speedful with Shadow Blades, if he can get perfect chain CC onto Arky, he could actually win this. Does he return? Shadow Blades is up. Shadow Strike. Does he have a full Kidney shot? Kidney shot getting used. Trying to make those Shadow Strikes happen. Big of his. Ooh, he is playing Mark for Death. I just noticed he is playing Mark for Death. Kronborg is going to be up next though. Trying to go for a bit of a Fleshcraft channel as Speedful is going for a reset. And this Rogue is trying to see if he can bring it for his team, man. First one to play, and so far he got 3 kills under his belt. Kronborg better find a way to just get some kind of CC channel on the Rogue, especially if the Rogue used a trinket already. I don't know if he did though. I'm gonna guess maybe. The Rogue might be in trouble. I think it's always better to assume he probably doesn't have a trinket. Probably doesn't. Because then you're like really, really in deadly spot. Cheap shot on the Kron. It looks like the Rogue. I love how Kron, with his legendary, he is the one who's getting stunned, and he literally threw a brew barrel while he is stunned. I think it's hilarious. Dropping down the second brew. Looks like he's going to be slow with that shiv from Speedful, and Kron is just going to have to take his sweet time, walk it over to Speedful. Does not have a way to catch back up. It looks like a lot of the cooldowns of the Monk with that BDB is out of the window. Still, Speedful is getting an auto attack through the wall, through the pillar rather, and is unable to get himself a clean reset. Also, Kevin Slime isn't helping either. Actually, I wonder, Kevin Slime could be pretty massive for those random free procs of BDB, because that'll be, I think, full value too. In cap, most likely stun. Going to be a Fist of Fury. Speedful doesn't have a sprint to get out of there. Is going to get himself a Sippy Cup rolling. And Kron looking to catch back up to his Speedful. Does get a reset, but Kron with that right spinning crane kick is going to be able to clip him out in the open. But Speedful still got mobility. Kron, gets him out. It looks like as he faded into stealth, he got him out in the open. Speedful, I think looking to maybe get a full Kidney shot into Kron. Going to be Zuin joining the fight. Kidney shot. Does Kron have a trinket? Going to be that explosive trinket, the grenade trinket. I think it does ignore pets now. I think it used to not ignore pets, and I think they fixed it, so even if you have a bunch of pets, that trinket will do full damage, so you have to have another ally on you. So in a 1v1 duel, that trinket can do like 20% of your health. And it's gonna go, that little hexagon, quadratic shape that like builds up and explodes with spikes outside. That's like a grenade trinket. You kind of just throw it down, and it cooks for like 4 seconds, and then it just pop. It's a bit of dim. 11 minutes left for servers to reset. Wait, really? Is there actually a server reset? No way. Oh no, our server's gonna reset? Wait, why is Twin Daggers getting tagged by G-Funk? Oh no. G-Funk, Gonna be out in the open with Speedful. Speedful, apparently we have a time before servers reset for PTR. So, the benefit is still pretty quick. Is going to get their opener with a Shadow Strike, trying to build some calm points. Going to be freezing trap by G-Funk. Says the Rogue is not going for the mark for that killing shot in the opener. Just building up resources at the start. Get a shot at G-Funk, trying to get some Shadow Strikes in. Big explosion into Speedful. Not sure whose trinket that popped off on the side there, but Speedful is going to get hit. Yet another freezing trap. It is going to be short though. G-Funk could follow up with a stun. Looks like Speedful going for the blind and actually gets himself a reset. Even though Hunter's Mark is on him, the pet is going to get him out of stealth and in combat, getting a couple of calm points off the pet. G-Funk looking to catch up with some Manic Bench. Flare out for the Rogue in case he wants to go for a reset. Unable to. Hunter's Mark falling off, so Speedful isn't careful. He will have his Hunter's Mark back on him. Going for the big burst on G-Funk. Gonna go for a feint death on Trinket. Stun on Speedful. Trinket's out of immediately. G-Funk at low health. He's gonna pop a turtle shell. And Speedful with a Shadow Blade. Still getting dotted up by G-Funk. Trying to end this Rogue as best as he can. Can he get away from Rogue fast enough? Cheap shot. I think the Rogue might just have it. Oh! The Rogue did it. Well, there it is. Rogue 1v5. I guess the Rogue is still going to be pretty busted over for patch 9.2, huh? I think it's the first one we had of patch 9.2 so far. People need 11 more minutes with those restarts. Oh, for real, for real. That is a lot of restarts, not going to lie. But it did well. But it did pretty well. All right, let's see how the server's doing. Are they actually...